everyone, it's Podcast Edo. Before we begin our 31st video special, I have two sponsors. One is from Bond Music for the first anniversary of it from my Black Biscuits report, and two is from my own book. Now, first we're going to get into the Bond Music commercial that I've made a few months back to share with you all, and please enjoy. And then later we'll get to my book for the second sponsor. So please enjoy, and here we go.
Hey man, you ready to record?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
All right, let's listen to it.
We're going to have some fun by animals having instruments. So come on and make so long, learning with rock music.
Hey man, good job. That was a good take. Thanks. Thanks again, Bob Music, and Happy New Year's. Welcome to the show.
Talking Fun with Edo Podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's Podcast Edo back at it again with another episode of Talking Fun with Edo for our 31st episode special. And on that note, our today's guest is Chris Burns. So here is our Q&A anniversary special interview. Hello, everyone. It's our 31st episode of Talking Fun with Edo with our second Q&A guest of Chris Burns. How you doing today, my friend?
Hey man, I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you can make it here too. So this special is going to be different since we're doing Q&As that have been sent from my subscribers. So here is our first questions from the Aim Paying 18, and he has asked us, what was your favorite class in digital arts while you were in Full Sail University?
I'd say my favorite class was, let's see, out of all of them, because we did a lot, was probably I'm trying to think what was the official name of it. It was wow, it's been a while. I can't even remember the names. It was probably it's kind of weird because I'm not really a photographer, but it was probably the photography class that we took. And we learned all about the cameras for photography, for film, all that stuff. Because even though it was for photography, it helped me in my art sense learn a lot more about perspective, about like, what's the word? Depth of field, and a whole bunch of other stuff that, you use in art anyway. So it was definitely fun. That was fun.
I'm kind of curious, like in that class, were you guys like also like have like the digital camera itself as well? Like, did you guys? Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, we supplied it.
That's funny you say that because I had a similar class like that when I was in film. Like, so they could put where we get to have like our own type of camera for like that month, and then like we return it with.
Yep.
Did you guys have to also do that project where you guys have to like put all the pictures together as a collage and like it explains stuff?
Yes, I believe we did have to do that.
We did the same thing. Wow. And we were in both like different, like I was in film, and so I was like, wow. that was actually a fun class.
Yeah, it was a good change of pace.
Right. I actually, okay, now I remember, yeah, because there was people in digital arts that were with me in that class. Now, right, this was, okay, now it's all making sense now. Okay. So our next question came from Blue and Ghana Mascot, and they have asked if you could speak other language, if you speak other languages.
Yeah, so I speak Japanese. I'm not fluent, but I'm still learning. I've been practicing and speaking it since I was 13. So what is that? That's like 13 years now, actually. That's crazy.
Right.
So I'm still on the grind for that, but that's the only language outside of English that I'm like relatively good at.
Okay. Um, Rudy the Rumble Pony has asked, "What is your favorite cartoon and television show of all time?"
Of all time, I'd probably say Codename Kids Next Door, just growing up, because
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where you had to just grow up and just have that on and it not be like a rerun, like it was like consistent. And
Right.
just being a kid when that was on, it was almost like, in a way, like it was the most realistic way a kid could feel that they were a superhero, obviously, because
Yeah.
kids being like, I want to be Superman, that only goes so far because we actually can't fly and stuff. But Codename Kids
Right.
Next Door brought that realism to the real world, to where there was that battle, because we're all in school, elementary school, and there's that like
Yeah.
kids versus teachers kind of thing. So it was
Yeah.
very relatable. That's the word. It was very relatable.
It's funny, like now that you put it that way, it's like it literally all made sense now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would just definitely say from the same station, mine, my favorite show was of course my own very own name, like Ed and Eddie. It was
Mm-hmm.
like that was a show, and it felt a little similar. So I'm like, it does make sense. It literally it all goes together.
Yep.
So from Splashdown Dolphin, he has asked, "What is like a book, a song, and a movie that will never get old to you?"
So let's see, a book, a song, or a movie. So a movie, I'll actually let me do the book first. So the book,
Okay.
I'll probably say, because I'm not a really big reader. I don't read a lot of like just books. But the one book that I did read and I did enjoy, was The Hobbit. That's like one of
Okay.
the books where like I could read that and I would just love it. And it stands on par with the movie for me. Like I could watch the movie and love it.
Yeah.
I could read the book and love it.
Right. Right.
Music wise, I listen to a broad variety of music, like a lot of genres, but one song that I probably consistently have in my playlist that just I could listen to over and over and over again would probably be, it's kind of funny. It's like the Drake and Josh opening song.
Oh, okay.
I have that song. I've had that song in my phone and my iPod since like fourth grade, and it's like every time I
Mm.
got a new phone, it was like always there.
You got an
Um,
iPod?
I did. Yeah, like at fourth grade was like when my mom got me my first one, and it was like before the iPod Touch. It was
Right. Right.
like the OG one.
Yeah.
Um,
The almost the one that looks like my phone, but it's like completely smaller, and it was
yeah,
like
it was like this big.
it was literally like it was like because it had. I remember it had different colors. You had like
Mhm.
the original, like the literal, like the white one,
Yep.
the
It was
smaller gap.
before the Nano came out with all the different
Yeah,
colors.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then as far as movies go, I could watch probably what's that one movie that I watch all the time, like at least once a year, that I'm like, I could watch this. Oh wow, I can't think of it because I haven't watched it in a minute. It's an anime movie, but it's wow, I can't think of it right now.
Could you describe it?
I can't because my mind is going blank right now because I'm on the spot.
It's
Um,
okay.
I'm trying to think what other movies I watch at least once a year. I watch Lord of the Rings and Star Wars at least once a year. But in terms of anime, I'm trying to think of that one movie that I watched where I'm just like, man, that was just a good movie. It was a slice of life movie, and it wasn't. It's not Wolf Children, even though Wolf Children is a good anime movie. I can't
Would it
think. I
be
cannot.
would it be like certain like a movie like a Studio Ghibli film or like the Your Voice type of movie?
Um, it's not necessarily Your Voice. It's not Studio Ghibli. I forgot who made the movie. I just cannot. I can like see imagery from it, but I can't think of what it's. It's called The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. It's called A Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which
Okay, okay,
I guess
okay.
it is kind of like silent voice or
Yeah,
like
yeah. I remember seeing that a little bit. Yeah, that I could definitely see
I
that.
love that movie. It's so chill.
Yeah.
It's so wholesome.
So our next question came from Ty the Chuganeer, and he is asked, have you ever visited any Disney World theme park? And if you have, which one have you visited to?
I went to Disney, was it Disney World in Florida? One time my whole life. I was like 4, and I
Yeah.
don't remember any, like I know I was there because my mom took me, but other than that, I haven't been back since.
It's funny because like I was around the same boat. Like the last time I was really there was 2019, and at the time a friend of my cousin was like working there, and then it was like
Okay.
very first time was the first time I came to, the place where I kind of started like the YouTube channel again, which is Florida. So it's like
Mhm.
that was 19 years ago was the very first time I've been to Florida, and it was really something because it's one of those things where I never really knew that I would go back there. And even 10 years ago was the time I saw Florida for the second time. It was for an outdoor museum festival, and it was pretty fun.
Okay.
So our next question comes from Mike Richards from Jeopardy, and he has asked, "Have you ever been into any trips or adventures that always sticks out of your mind?"
Oh, well, for me, that's always my trip to Japan in 2000. I think what was it?
2017, right?
17,
Yeah.
2017. I had to think. That's like like right now in my life, just because I haven't been back there in a while,
Right.
and everything else, like that's the one thing in my life, like so far, that's like at the top of like this is like the best time of my life
Right.
experiences, like in terms of traveling. But
Right.
that's like
Right.
the so far that's the best place and best time.
Yeah. I think this also like answered the questions from AV because he kind of had like a similar question to it of
Mhm.
like saying what was the most exciting place. Would this still be the same answer, or would you have like a different answer?
Like, what's the most exciting place I've been to?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's Japan. Like, it's just nothing. I'm sorry, there's nothing against the U.S., nothing against Georgia.
Right, right,
Once
of
you go to
course.
Japan,
Yeah.
it's just like nothing's gonna top that, honestly.
Honestly, oh my god. And I remember are you still like planning on like going there anytime soon? Like out of
I
curiosity
I
or
really want to. It's just my full-time schedule now is different. So like the
yeah.
times that I could go really only depend on like the breaks from because I teach the breaks that we get from teaching. So like spring break, fall break, winter break, Thanksgiving break, all those breaks. So my goal is every year if I do want to try and plan it, it's always probably going to be on Christmas break. But then of course like
Okay.
Christmas gets there and then I'm like I really don't want to go. I just want to do something else here. But like eventually, like
Right.
my goal probably within the next year or two is to actually just, save up money and go do it because, if I don't, I'm not gonna do it.
Right, same here. It's funny on that note because one thing that me and my family did last year, and it took me a while to realize that that is an actual Japanese tradition. Even when they found out that's not how Christmas is celebrated in the U.S., they just still kept it this way, which was to have KFC
Yeah.
during yeah. At first, when I first had like the glimpse of it,
Hmm.
like in the early 2010s, I thought they were lying. I just thought it was like, no, that's not true. But then years went by, it's like, no, they really do have some KFC during.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally so
Even
like it's
when
like all
they
right.
found out that's not even how we celebrate, like not us, like me and you, like America as a whole, like
Hmm.
it's not, but they're just still literally, it's like it's still like that. Even though they do have some of that, like some of the food like that, they still like it's still tradition. We can't,
Yep.
and it's been like that since literally the 70s, and it still
Hmm.
goes on to this, even this year in 2020. Speaking so speaking of which, of days off, we have one question from Fritz the Frog, and he has asked us, what are some hobbies and activities that you like to do on your day off?
Um, well, it's kind of funny because for me, a day off from teaching normally still means not a day off from manga making. So I'm still normally working on manga. But if I do have like just a full day off just to not do anything, I force myself not to do anything. I'm probably either playing like video games on my PC with my friends or probably playing volleyball somewhere.
All right. Wow. So Alan from Sesame Street has asked if you have any pets.
No, sadly not. My mom does not like animals,
Mm,
but my dad does. So growing up, when I was with him, we had dogs, we had rabbits, we had
mm,
everything. But now that I'm older, my mom's like, when you move out, you can do whatever you want. So as soon as I move
you
out,
can't have
yeah,
pets in this house.
I can't have
Not
a pet in this house. So when I move out, for sure, I'm getting a buddy. I don't know what that buddy might look like, but I definitely am gonna get one.
Gotcha. So our next question comes from Colette Unicorno, and she has asked us, what is your favorite type of restaurant, and would it be a similar experience to, I guess, to me?
Okay. It really depends. Like I don't have like a set place where I'm just like, man, I go here like all the time because I'm always like everywhere. But like for me, like I guess the most like because where I am in Georgia, like Japanese food isn't like
Yeah.
the best unless I go up north to actually like downtown Atlanta. But down here, like Vietnamese food is like really, really popular. So like if I can
Yeah.
I normally get Vietnamese food. Like if I had an option, I'd get Vietnamese food probably all the time just because it's pretty versatile. And of course they have like boba and other stuff. So I'm like, that's
Yeah.
probably like my main thing.
Would you prefer like, because since this question was asking like a similar experience to me, like I guess like wherever I go, my favorite type of restaurants or any type of restaurants would usually be buffets. Do you like buffets or
I like the idea of them.
yeah,
I don't eat a lot of food. So
right?
like for me, like going to a buffet and spending like $20 to eat like two things, it's kind of like, oh, I don't even eat Korean like you like I don't know if you like Korean barbecue. I'm not a big Korean barbecue person just because it's so expensive for me to only eat such a small amount. So
Yeah.
like,
It
but
is
my
funny
friends love it.
because now people will bring you Korean barbecue. It's like you haven't had me. I said it's like I actually technically have like a picture that's probably going to be shown here or here of when I was in the Korean Culture Club while I was still in full Southern Florida. There's we kind of like actually went there and it was pretty cool. Definitely, I feel like in that note, people will just bring you like Korean barbecue. It's like we heard you haven't really tried it, and we're here to show to show up and show out.
Hey, I'll eat it, just not all at the
Right.
same time.
And especially it's like if you're paying for it, then I'm just like, what?
Yeah, bring the whole restaurant.
Right. So our second to last question. So this is an interest. These are like interesting questions I've collected. So our second to last question came from Splash McLean, and he has asked if you had any particular funny stories about yourself, or I guess like an encounter for me that you would like to share with us. The second part is really interesting because we never really, I don't know if we really met in person or anything like that, but I know we've always like talked through like IRL sort of deal,
Hmm.
but it's like this person was wondering if you had like any funny like interesting experience with like along with yourself or it could be like or and just with me.
Um, I'm trying to think. I have funny things that happen to me just all the time in general because it's just I don't know my life. I attract other funny people and stuff. But I'd say the most recent one was probably at like our volleyball practice. I forget
Hmm.
like what was happening, but I was on one side with half of my team and the other team was on the other side and we were practicing stuff and the server from the other team served the ball and like she served it straight at the person at the net and it hit her in the back of the head. And so she's looking me dead in the eye just like going, "Ah!" And of course I'm laughing because I saw it happen. I literally like couldn't warn her fast enough. But that was probably the most funny thing recently. But to the other point, yeah, I haven't since me and you really haven't met like in real life, like actually sat down. We probably have
Right,
seen each
right.
other in passing just on campus
Yeah,
back in the day. But like
possibly, yeah.
I was like, I haven't really. I guess I would have to go back and look at some of the other videos we've done to see if like something happened that was funny. But like other than
Maybe,
that,
yeah.
I can't think
And
of anything.
it's okay. Our last question came from Daisy the dinosaur, and she has asked if you could have a superpower for one day, what would it be, and what would you want to do with that said superpower?
For me, it would probably like be in a sense electricity. Kind of like electro, but
Yeah,
in a more modern way. Just because with electricity, obviously you can be like really really hot, like the sun, because it's like really really hot, it's electricity. But you can
right.
also move at the speed of light and also move through electronic appliances. I guess I say appliances. So in the
Appliances.
sense you
Yeah,
have like you have like three powers all in one, really, with electricity.
right.
But I'd probably use it to, you know, be like a really good like tech guy if there's like any like tech problems, but also be like an actual superhero that could like stop things really fast and just be that everyday, in a sense, like everyday hero like Spider-Man. Use my
Yeah,
powers
yeah.
when like I see something happening, and also, you know, just really just traveling, because you can travel at the speed of light. You can get from point A to point B pretty quickly.
Right. So that was the end of our questions. Now I have like a few questions to just a little bit ask before, like, we end this. So
Mm-hmm.
um so your manga called Chikara, the Power of God, which character would you want to be your best friend from your own characters? If you had your one of your characters to be your
Mm-hmm.
best friend, who would it been?
Oh, it's definitely going to be Kalani. Like Kalani, like, is such a number one. She's like 15, so she's like a young. She's not like affected really by like the world. She's still trying to find herself. She's very optimistic. She's very
Right.
cheerful. She can be a firecracker sometimes, but I think that adds the comedic relief to it because she's like 5'3", so she's really small. But definitely Kalani, because just, you know, over time, once you get on Kalani's good side, she's very
Yeah.
loyal because she's like part dog, so she's gonna literally stick with you to the end.
Right. So one of the other ones I've had was did was there like I know it's interesting the fact that it's now been a year since we have done an interview. Is there like from the episode that we did together, was there any favorite parts that you liked from the interview that we did together?
Um, I wouldn't say there's necessarily like an immediate like favorite part. I mean, I always enjoy talking about my craft to others, and, you know, and talking about, you know, how I got from, you know, the beginning to where I am now, and just
Yeah.
really spreading that knowledge in a way, and spreading the, what's the word, like the optimism and like the hope aspect. So like all of
Yeah.
that was really, really cool.
Right. And one of the last things I'm gonna ask you before we finish this all off is there anything that you have been working on recently as far as Shakara? Like what's like other stuff that's going on recently? If you can
So
share.
yeah. So right now, I'm currently working on chapter 16. Also working on getting the Chikara book 2 revamped and ready to go. It's like almost there. Like I accidentally did something wrong with the logo, so I have to like update the logo on it and like the side binding, but the inside of the book is like completely done. It's completely finished.
Right,
It looks
right.
beautiful. Like the updates look amazing. So that's coming out probably within the next month. I just gotta update it and then probably make some videos about it and put that back out there. And then working on chapter 16. I think after I finish chapter 16, I'd have like 80 pages left before technically I could do a book 3.
Yeah.
It just really depends on where I want to end it chapter wise before I actually like say, okay, this is enough for the third book. So the third book, if I keep working every month, theoretically the third book could come out probably like, I don't know, like maybe middle of 2024. So we'll kind of
Hmm.
see how
Yeah.
fast I could keep progressing with that. Outside of Chikara, I worked on my one-shot gun game, which came out, which was really, really cool, well received. I think it's like at 15,000 views now, and
Hmm.
I've been working on some other stuff, but I'm getting ready to work on like a promo for that. That way, that can keep like getting more views. And other than that, that's pretty much what's been kind of going on right now. Doing illustrations for Chikara when I can. A brand new one actually drops not tomorrow, but the day after. So it'll be probably
Okay.
Monday. A brand new illustration drops Monday.
It's
And then
funny. It's funny you say that because I was literally gonna say this is probably when this whole thing's gonna drop. So I guess both of those might drop at the same time.
might, yeah, we'll see. I might post it tomorrow just so I have that data for you to post your thing. I have the
Right.
illustration done. It just depends on when I want to post it.
Yeah.
But
So
other than that, that's about what's going on in my world. Just still working.
nice. So with that, everybody, we have to say goodbye. So we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
I hope you guys enjoy the Q&A interview that we have, and also thank you all for your questions as well. Before we get into the shoutouts, I would like to mention our sponsorship once more is not only just for Bond Music, but also for my very own book called Who Am I For Real? Growing Up with Fast Ed Part 1, featuring on Kindle and also the book itself. So now we're going to move into the shoutouts, which we got for not just Chris Burns and Bob Music, but also for Marrani Clothing, The Music Titan, Tony Recording, Food Court TV, Lost Hopes Edit, Cosplay Time Capsule, Credit Jaw, Xcart Videos, Video God Visuals, Brad Burns, Edgy Senpai, Yang Xing, Wicked Credits, Alicia Dev, and Lumi's Web. And for the old school shoutouts, we got Fregend, Elise is here, Manlily, and Downheart, which here is their song collab together. And also our another sponsor is the journalist of Louder Me. So also before we go is there's also Ryan Shover is also our shout out because he has featured me onto his latest video, and also check out his channel as well. So thank you all for watching the 31st video special out with Chris Burns. And for this channel alone, of course there's going to be another episode. As far as my main channel going, not much, but will do my best to create some new stuff. And as usual, guys, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Talking Fun with Edo.